Why conversions are king on Amazon and how to get 25% or above as your conversion rate. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 steps to becoming a successful Amazon seller by focusing on your conversion rate. Most sellers on Amazon vastly overthink and overestimate what it really takes to be successful. So this advice may be the complete opposite of what you believe is true. But what I will tell you today is really simple, and it will give you 80% of the results you're looking for. Hey, I'm Daniel Aronsson, the co-founder of RyanandDaniel.com. Now, you might think there's more to selling on Amazon than what you actually know right now. But let me tell you that the exact opposite is probably true. Often, sellers' biggest mistake is seeking more tactics to employ instead of just focusing on the few things that really matter and doing those things really well. They think there is much more to learn and do in order to be successful in the business. But the number one thing that separates our super successful students from our not so successful students is just the extent to which they really understand that it's not about adding more methods to the process. It's about finding the right few to focus on. The advice that I will reveal in this video should therefore get drilled in your brain and become your main focus so you can really crush it on Amazon. First of all, the single most important factor to focus on is the conversion rate of your product. The fact is, if your product does not convert high enough, it will never succeed in the long term. Think about it. Why would someone choose to buy your product instead of your competitor's product? If you can come up with a strong reason why they should choose your product over your competition, then your success will come easy. If you struggle to answer this question, however, this is likely why you're struggling to sell your product. If you somehow believe you can be successful with a product that people will not choose to buy over other options out there, you're just fooling yourself. Maybe you'll get a few sales here and there, but you will never truly succeed and win over your competition. This is fitting with how Amazon's A9 search engine is actually designed. The algorithm is 100% aligned with this behavioral fact, and actually, it leverages this truth. Amazon is designed to show people the products they are most likely to buy, which means that they are constantly measuring and tracking which products people choose to buy most through any given search, or more specifically, the products that convert the highest through any given search term. Amazon wants to show first the product that has the highest conversion rate, and which makes sense because that prompts more people to hit the buy button, so it all makes sense. This is so Amazon maximizes basically their revenue per customer or per person on their site. The truth is, you will never be able to find great long-term success with a product that doesn't always beat out your competition. But the more people have a real reason to buy your product over the thousands just like it, the more success you will have. So before anything else, you must dial in your conversion rate and find an edge for your product so people have a reason to buy your product versus one of the other products. Of course, there are some other factors at play, but at the core of it, the way to win, to get ranked at the top and get the most traffic, is to be the highest converting product of its kind. This means that your product is most aligned with what people really want to find and buy through the search. In other words, it's the most relevant product for that given search term. So, how can you improve your conversion rate on Amazon? Well, there are 5 steps to ultimately reach an incredible conversion rate. If you follow these steps, you'll get this high rate every time. 99% do not have the personal discipline to truly double down and focus on something as simple as improving their conversion rate as much as possible. But I promise you that if you do these 5 things and you commit to them over months and months, you will really succeed on Amazon. So, here we go. Step number 1, identify and commit to the best search terms. Of course, as you grow, you can build a team to do this for you, for every single product you have. But before you do anything else, you need to identify great search terms to work through and improve your product. We do this before we even choose to sell our product through our validated product research, which I'll talk about in other videos here on this channel. It's our proprietary method for researching and finding great products and great search terms to source those products into. Step number 2, source and sell the best and most relevant product for these specific searches. Once you identify at least 2 to 3 great search terms with high buyer intent and a reasonable amount of competition, then you want to source the best and most relevant product for those specific searches. So, if someone types in a given search, it's the product that's exactly what he or she wants to find. Usually the best search terms are very specific in terms of a variation or some feature of a product. Let's say that feature is waterproof. Now, if you're selling a certain product, there may be versions of that product that are not waterproof and others that are waterproof. So if someone specifically types in waterproof watch, for example, what he or she really wants to find is a waterproof watch. So naturally, to work with that search term, you need to source a really good waterproof watch. You can also appeal to more search terms by having a bonus or an add-on item, or even by creating a bundle. You can perhaps add something to your product offer that makes it even more appealing to people looking to buy a waterproof watch than any other product. So it's not just the fact that it's a waterproof watch, but maybe it has something more to it or something that comes with it that makes it more attractive for people that want a waterproof watch, that being like the main feature of that product for them. You could be selling the only waterproof watch that has that extra something that comes with it or is a part of the product, for example. There are many other ways to do this as well. For example, with the branding of your product. If you really want to target, let's say, the search on waterproof watch, you could even create a waterproof watch brand to attract people searching for that term even more. Or you could dig deeper and sell a diver's watch. Then you could focus on how deep into the ocean you could take that watch and things like that. The point here is that to really have the most relevant, most appealing product for any given search term, you need to really think about what the search term is specifying and do everything you can to have the best and most appealing offer for someone typing that in. And someone with that in their mind, coming to Amazon looking for that kind of product. Step number 3 adds on to step number 2. Set up the best and most relevant product listing for those specific search terms. So in addition to having the most relevant and appealing product and offer physically, and people forget how important the product is. That's really the key to success, having an amazing product that's truly relevant to whatever it is and whoever it is you want to target. So in addition to having that really good, relevant physical product, you want to also create and set up the best and most relevant, appealing product listing based on those search terms. So, for example, if you're selling a waterproof watch and you want to target that search term, now you need to do everything you can to make this clear and appealing in the listing. You need images that show how waterproof the watch really is and in what ways it's actually waterproof. You need to show water in the images to make that really visually clear and immediately mention in the bullet points and in your description that it's a waterproof watch. You really want people to see your watch in the search results and immediately know that this is a clearly waterproof watch, and then when they come to your listing, you want to sell them fully on the merits that your watch is the best waterproof watch they could find and buy. So if you're targeting multiple search terms, you can then combine all of those specific things people are looking for into one product to be able to appeal to even more search terms. But I recommend that you only focus on a handful of search terms at most at the beginning, especially because it is hard to be relevant for more search terms or more specific features than just a handful. You can, however, take and combine a couple of features or a couple of specific search terms and strongly appeal to all of those at the same time. So step number 4 is to then promote the product using only those best search terms that you found. To have the highest possible conversion rate on your product and therefore get Amazon to show your product more, you want to start by only targeting the most specific, relevant search terms that you have already optimized both your product and product listing for. The conversion rate you'll have is going to be much, much higher for the search terms that you fully sourced and designed the product and product listing around than it will ever be through any other search term that isn't as relevant. Amazon will give you more and more visibility because you will have a really good conversion rate. Step number 5 is to optimize your conversions through short feedback loops. So what does that mean? Well, over time, you'll want to continuously make adjustments and improvements to your product listing, which will improve your conversion rate and even to the product itself. This is an ongoing process. You should never actually stop this step. The way to make these improvements is by employing what is called the build, measure, learn feedback loop. This means you will make a change or an update that you theorize is going to help you convert better through your target search terms. And then you wait and measure your conversion rate to see what happens. If it goes up, you keep these updates. If it goes down, you reverse the updates. Now you've actually just learned something very important about your product in a scientific manner and what actually appeals to your target audience. So now you are growing to become the most appealing, most highest converting product out of all your competition. So you continue this build, measure, learn feedback loop over the lifespan of the product because any improvement in conversions is possibly the most valuable thing you can ever get for any product on Amazon. Even if improvements only boost your conversions by 0.1%, you're still starting to really rank and get traffic to your listing that will make a huge difference over time and will lead to even more traffic and more rankings on Amazon. You're moving that needle in your favor and it starts to compound. So trust me, there is nothing more valuable than working through this step-by-step process and continuing to optimize your conversions over time. Again, all improvements matter, even something as small as 0.1%. It can actually have a massive impact on you long term and on how the product compounds, and obviously how you are then able to discover more things to improve your conversion rates. So before we go, there's one more thing I wanted to mention, and that is, as you work to optimize your product, the changes you're making should be making a positive impact over time. So over time, you should be seeing your conversions go up. If not, the changes you're making aren't working, and then it's time to do what we call pivot. That means you make a more radical change to your theory about what actually is appealing to your target audience and to specifically people coming through those search terms that you're targeting. So maybe you add in a complementary new feature or just a brand new feature, or maybe you remove a feature. Maybe you create a different kind of product as a new version of this product. After you made a more radical change, you obviously measure that and see if that had a positive impact. And if it does, then you will continue to optimize based on that change. Once the things you're doing or the progress you're making on your conversion rate starts to flatline, then it's again time to make a more radical change in order to attempt to improve your conversions even further. Again, this process never stops, and it never should stop, because the more you work on this, the more you will rank, the more you will get traction and sales, and eventually completely dominate your niche with that product. So that's it. Those are the 5 steps to optimizing your conversion rate on Amazon to get above 25% and higher on a lot of your products. I promise that if you work this system and you truly double down on this process over time, and you are relentlessly persistent and obsessed about improving your conversion rate, you will absolutely dominate with your product, and you will absolutely crush it and make millions selling private label products on Amazon. This is one of the big secrets to great success, and this is why conversions are king on Amazon. This is really the only way to truly succeed in a massive way long term. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can learn more about this topic and many others in my free Amazon crash course, which goes through our entire proprietary system for selling private label products successfully on Amazon from start to finish. Check it out via the link below this video. You can also add a question in the comment section and I'll personally respond. Also, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. You can do all of that here right below the video. So thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon.